Raise your hand if you've ever got tired and feel like you just need a couple days off. Most people would have both hands up right now. That's our world, fast-paced and income-driven. That's why we get caught up in our own lives so often, and that's why it's understandable when most people don't focus on worries that aren't their own. So what makes someone become a humanitarian? Someone whose whole life focuses on the welfare of other humans.
When you go back and you see kids that were living on the streets, kids had no structure, they had no routine, people who had nothing, they didn't have meals. When you see that they're all of a sudden they're waking up, they have structure, they have something to do, they have a meal in their belly, their life changes completely. They like I said, their self-esteem changes, their self-worth, their ability to know who they are in the world and what they have the potential of becoming, you know, to give that hope, to give that dream, and then to watch people actually use that to do good for themselves and others it's amazing. It becomes an addiction.
And with Serena's help, we'll find the meaning of life to a humanitarian.
Did you see me dancing in the background?
Yeah, I did see you dance in the background. I see me dancing in the background, and when we guys said, "Oops, we're on." That's okay. You know, we have fun, right? We have fun before we start. Hey, lady, are you okay? Okay, let's check. Okay, tech check.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I need to fix this.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, while we're uh-ohing and you're fixing that, I'm gonna just welcome people. Hello, everybody. You are here with the Help Heal Humanity show with Mrs. Serena Bufalino while she's fixing her uh-ohs. And I'm going to take her down for a second so she can do that. And myself, Barbara J. Beckley. We come on every Thursday, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And I always tell everybody else, do the other time zones because it gets kind of crazy after a while, especially if people are in California. I'm like, okay. And also talking about California, this is I know it's way California, Florida, two opposite directions, but as everybody probably knows, Florida is dealing with hurricane. I don't even know the name of it now. There's so many different names for hurricanes, which I'm like, okay, causes destruction. Why are you gonna name it? That's just I don't know. This my inquiring minds want to know on that one, right? Like, okay, forget it don't even deserve a name. It deserves to stop. But yeah, they're dealing with a hurricane in Florida. So let's just put all our vibes, our positive vibes, and our prayers out for, you know, any family members you have, friends, or just anybody that you might know in Florida, because they're dealing with that, and hopefully everything, you know, is okay. And I'm going to put my insurance broker hat on real quick, and hopefully they all have coverage. You know, it's in my blood. I've been doing it for over 30 years, so I have to kind of throw that out there. You know, when we're a professional in certain areas, we tend to spread the wealth with that. So, but I hope everybody's, you know, family and friends are good. So with that, I want to check in with Serena real quick. How you doing, Serena? Still fixing? Oh, she just left me. She left. Okay, I'll bring you back. Okay, while she's still fixing, I love my co-host. This is what happens, and I always tell people the wonderful thing about having a show and being live is really live. So you deal with all the tech, all the craziness and stuff. And you just keep it rolling, right? So, but I don't want to keep it. We had to keep it moving though, because we do have a special, wonderful guest that's coming on now. Usually, and this is what I'm loving about this, knowing, when you have your tribe of people that and you start reaching out to other people and say, hey, I need a person that does this, or I need a person that knows this, or I need, some more nonprofits, or I need a person that understands nonprofits. And then they all come and say, oh yeah, I have somebody, I had this wonderful person, I had this person. So this wonderful lady, and I call the women queens, she is basically, she's not, I don't think she'll tell us, once she talks to us, Nora, she does. I don't think she has a nonprofit, but it's almost like she has a whole bunch of nonprofits, because what she does is she works closely with nonprofits to help them increase. Okay, nonprofits out there, listen to this, help them increase funding with effective processes and regulatory compliance. So she's even the glue to nonprofit, because she's helping and she's making sure that you're all in compliance, because you want to make sure that that's happening. And I know Serena is really on target with Help Heal Humanity on that. Let me bring her back up. How you doing, lady? Can I
think I'm good.
Good. Yeah, so good, because I want you to be here with with our wonderful queen that's coming. So yeah, so Serena, this is going to be like a teachable moment and an understanding, because she's going to really tell us about the funding, how you can kind of work with that and being in compliance, because she is an agent with the Internal Revenue Service. Ooh.
I'm really excited, actually, to hear what she has to say. Maybe she can help HHH a little bit as well. So, and the timing is perfect. The timing was perfect, to be honest. So we'll talk about that later. But I'm very excited to meet this lovely individual.
Yes. When I like I said, somebody, and I have to put shout out to one of my other friends and partners in crime, and she's on another show with me, Barbara Ellis. She's the one that introduced me to her. And I told her, she said, oh, I know somebody. I was like, hey, bring them on. So she's coming on, but we have to give love where love is due. And, we got to give a little love to our little sponsorship. So give us a little 30 seconds. And then once we come back, we will bring on the wonderful queen to talk to us about understanding nonprofits, funding, and compliance. So we'll be right back.
Today, over 1 billion children in the world live in poverty. At Help Heal Humanity, our goal is to connect children in need with people like you who want to make a difference. Our student sponsorship program helps provide children with the necessities for a healthy and successful start to life. When you sponsor a student, you're not only giving them the gift of education, you're giving them the best chance for a brighter future. 100% of your donation supports the tuition fees, uniforms, textbook, and school supplies needed to thrive in a safe and healthy learning environment. Sponsor a student now and be the catalyst for their brighter future.
Seeing those wonderful children. Hey, there we go. The magic of video.
Hi, ladies. How are you? Thank you so much for having me today.
No, thank you, lady. So before we even start, please, because I know I might have messed up your name, so take it to my head, not my heart. How do you say your full name?
So my name is Noura Al-Masri.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes, thank you so much for coming. And this is, I know this is why, I'm very vulnerable here. I know this was last minute. So I appreciate you coming on and coming to give us some teachable moments and really understanding more about, how you work closely with nonprofits, especially to help them, increase funds, which we're all looking for all the time. And then also making sure we're staying in compliance. Mm-hmm. So before we get into that, because we have some time here for tonight for you to talk, tell us a little bit about you and how you kind of got into I'm going to say it, the IRS.
Yeah, a lot of people are not familiar with enrolled agent designation. This is actually you get enrolled agent designation. They don't want you to say certificate, but this is how we introduce ourselves. Enrolled agent with the Internal Revenue Service. So if you look for enrolled agent, you will see me listed there between all other names because they give you have to undertake like 3 exams, just like a CBA exam, but it's more in depth with taxes and tax law, and you have to have continuing education. So my all career life, I was, in accounting, corporate. This is how I started after having my business administration bachelor degree. Then, like, I got my master degree from DePaul University in business information technology. I was all in just corporate until 2011. This is when actually I got to nonprofit full time. Before I was helping just like volunteer basis, anything they need help with, accounting wise, any bookkeeping, any of that. Um, I am originally from Syria. I was born and raised in Syria. And in 2011, this is when the revolution started. So refugees started fleeing the country. And this is when I'm like, okay, I can't focus anymore. I was a single mom and I wanted to really have a career that can be me so I can take care of myself and my kids, and at the same time like, take care of these people and help them as much as they can because I couldn't focus on anything else. So I came with other activists from all other states. I was in Chicago at that time. So everyone came together and we decided to do a fundraising in Chicago. And because I was in Chicago local, I was responsible for a lot of logistics with another lady. So we did organize that. And we actually got $150,000 in fundraising at that time, and we used one of the organizations who's already established, and that the founder of that organization asked me to come on board for full time. I was like, yes, I was waiting for this. This is what I really want.
Yes, the opportunity. Yes.
Yes, so I was so happy to get that, and this is how I started at the full time. I was a program director. I was program of development. I was, I also had to manage grants. I did like a lot of things of everything. I established offices overseas in different countries, and then like I actually got to other organizations like about like 10 years I spent with organizations like as a full time, and a lot of people asked me to come on board like in different level, like board member, just advisor or whatever, like in different levels. And then I went back to because I got like, okay, it's so much, I have to like take a break because I was working almost 24/7 because it's a time difference. And when you're a nonprofit, you don't really rest. You can't, you feel like people need you. Even if you're on vacation, you can't really like, not respond. You really have to respond. So after a few years, I was drained. I was like, okay, I can't do it anymore. I have to take a break. So I went to corporate again. And then COVID happened. I'm like, okay, now like I'm really not happy with corporate anymore, like because you have to go back to the office. And I was really I'm between Houston and Chicago because my husband works in Houston and my kids going to school in Chicago. I don't want to stuck somewhere. Like I didn't want to go and go to the office. And a lot of corporate were asking, okay, you have to go to the office right now. And actually, to start my own firm, this was like an old idea before I started with nonprofit, but I did not pursue. But then I decided, okay, so I need to travel. Okay, work virtually. Why not? Everyone now like starting their business virtually. So why not? So I was like, okay, let's do that. And I did that like in the beginning of April 2021. Yeah, 2021. And that's when I started. I started tax and accounting firm, and then I niched down to nonprofits. So I help nonprofit and nonprofit consultants. So I do everything like bookkeeping, fractional CFO, tax planning, tax preparation for everyone, like, individual, business, and nonprofit. But I specialize in nonprofit because not so many accountants, understand nonprofit. And then, like, at the end of the last year, I finished my 3 enrollment exam for the IRS, and I was, they sent me the certificate in the beginning of the year, so that was nice. Yeah. So I recently developed actually a master class, like that's a free for nonprofits on how to get funding. Because yeah, and
We're getting excited here, lady. We're getting excited.
yes. So I love the master class. It's totally free for the nonprofits, and actually they get the opportunity to join my mastermind, which is like help them get in compliance and get funding, like coaching program, but group coaching program. In addition to the, like any services like those, I offer like some bonuses when they join, that helps them, like, grow their nonprofits. Because I noticed, like, speaking to a lot of nonprofits, I spoke to over 100 nonprofits over the last year and a half. And I noticed a lot of people, what they were doing, they go register, get their 501c3, celebrate and happy, and then they start looking for grants. And that does not work. Really, it does not work, because even if you get like 500 there, 1,000 there, it's not going to get you a lot of money, because funders want you to prove that you have a capacity to manage the money. In order to give you money, you have to have a team, you have to have a capacity, you have to show that, like a pilot program at least, like you need like 2 years, sometimes less. Also, you need relationships and everything, but you have to have the foundation. You have to have, kind of like when you want to go buy a house and you started your own business, they want to see 2 years of tax return. Same thing for funders. They want to see like 2 years of 990. This is why I usually don't recommend anyone to do the 990N, because it doesn't show anything really, and it does not encourage funders to give you much money. So the minimum I would say, like the easy, but I prefer always the 990, because you have to put a lot of information there. So, and it's public, so it's give the funder, okay, you are so transparent, you have the capacity to do this, and it has to be a good one, because some people like don't have a volunteer do it and it doesn't look so good. So you want to make sure you have that, you have a team, you have a SOBs, like process, you have some money, because most of the time those money from the funders, like grants, they are restricted money. You need more, something that unrestricted, so you can do the thing. You can allocate them to different programs. And also, I noticed a lot of accountants, they don't know much about nonprofit. They are nervous to take it, because it's required a lot of compliance, and it does take a lot of work, even from the registration. When you want to go register with the state and go register with the IRS, apply for the 501c3 status, and then go to the state and see what do they require in order to be
state.
There. So it's kind of more than double the process, and people don't recognize that. Like, why is it costing so much? Because it's a lot of work, and it's a responsibility. They have to do your also power of attorney in order to apply on their behalf. And the system of the IRS is not really like when you apply for the 501c3. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. That's all it does. It does not save. So you have to have the entire information at one time. Otherwise, like, you will keep repeating the process until you have all the information. So it's a lot of things. So yeah, this is like, I got excited. Like, a lot of people ask me, like, how do we start nonprofit, even from other accountants? So I developed also a small course to just walk people step by step and how to get the nonprofit, from the business plan to any policies they need, like just to establish and apply for 501c3. So just some guidance to other accountants and other people like who wants to do it themselves, and they do not want to pay much for people. They don't have that kind of budget to pay for a professional to do it, so they can at least like have something like doable, so they can do it. So yeah, this is like it gets me excited, because I know so much about nonprofit, and I notice also I still have a lot to learn, because Oh God, like on the IRS website, they have a separate section for charity organizations. It's so much information. And I'm actually, when I took the exam for the enrolled agent, and also I took the low part for the CBA exam, and none of them tells you much about the nonprofit. They just purely cover it, like a couple of pages. It doesn't go in depth on anything. So a lot of people don't go and study it. There's like, of course, few people, but it's in demand. A lot of people need it, and it can get the board and everyone in trouble if they don't really stay in compliance and make an effort and investment to really like put everything, and like good bookkeeping, good tax return, good records keeping, so especially when you get to the grant parts. But in order to get to the grant part, you really have to do everything right first in order to get you to grants, and then you move from good amount of funding to, you can get larger grants, but you have to first like know how to fund your organization. So this is what the mastermind covers, like how to get grant ready and really get your donations from individual donations. Because also a lot of people think the main funding is the grants, while the main funding in the US, the study shows that 70% or more comes from individual donations, from people who just donate, and or like after they write the organization on their will. So the organization gets that from individual. That's way more than the grants.
Now, we could take a pause because you said sold a lot, and I know Serena has some questions too. But
Sorry, I could see.
we're kind of like, okay, like, we got it. But one thing I want to just put a little pause, and I'm gonna let Serena, have some questions. Is I think the biggest thing, this is like a statement, and we can talk about it, is with nonprofits that I've been noticing being part of. I'm part of two chemo buddies for life, and then also Help Heal Humanity with Miss Serena. And I've noticed that the biggest thing, like you said, is getting the money. Either you have to do fundraiser, or you mentioned about grants, or just individual people. And I think I'm loving what you said, that you have a workshop to kind of really say, okay, this is what you need to do to get funds, because that's like the biggest thing out of everything. So, you could take us through some of those, maybe some of those more ideas. And I know Serena probably has some questions as well.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say my head is spinning because I definitely would love to be enrolled in your master class, and then probably some other stuff with, my treasurers or our treasurers. It's exactly as you said, like compliance is every single state, every single year. We need to do our compliance documents. It's a lot of work. It's not like that in Canada or in other parts of the world, but in the USA, it's extremely difficult. So we do have our 501c3. We do our year compliance in almost all states. And then it's exactly like you said, we just got our 501c3. So now we're able to raise more money because that's the incentive, but it's extremely difficult. And so, Barbara will say firsthand, we have started to look into grants. We have started to look into foundation grants as well. And, this is going to be our main focus for 2023. So that is why I would love to learn more from you in how we could do this and do it properly so that we can be effective. I guess what's lucky for Help Heal Humanity is we have been in existence since 2018. So we can show financials for the last, 5 years, and we do have projects, and now we just need people to help fund our projects. But it's an entirely big undertaking in the USA when you get a non-for-profit. The other thing that I really enjoyed you saying was the entire board as a whole is responsible for the charity, which means you can't just point the finger at the treasurer or the COO or the CEO, because it doesn't. If anybody makes a mistake and somebody does not do what needs to be done for compliance in the IRS, the entire board is held responsible for that, right? And I think that's important for any board member to know is, you come in and you say you're going to do your part, which is fabulous,
but you're also legally tied to everything that is happening at that board level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Congratulations on your 501c3. And I would
Thank you.
love to help you with that. Like, definitely, like, I'll send you the link and everything to join the masterclass. And we can, also about the mastermind. So, and we can chat actually, like we can chat like on Zoom and separate chat, like to talk more about it, because yeah, it's really important. And since you already have a program, this is going to be like not as difficult as you might imagine, but also it does take a lot of work. And to answer your question about like what do I teach in the master class, so I teach my 6 strategies. It's the impact method. This is how I named my method, like impact method, like identifying your donor, manage and motivate your donor, attract donations and funders, and then compliance. And the T is team, and like the team of the organizations is like your board members, volunteer, consultants, and staff. So I show you like first step, really you have to identify who is your donor. I do give some example how to how you have to do it. It's just it's a 2 hours master class, but I go more in depth with the mastermind, and like like it's an entire year for now. Like it's an entire year, like step by step. We do like 2 coaching calls a month, and then like you go through an evergreen program, and you get to ask your questions in the group and also in the in the coaching calls. So we go in depth, like with everyone, like with more examples, like walk you through everything to help you just like, attract that, identify your donor, and really like how to attract them, where to find them. So you speak to them directly, because individuals in the US, people give around $6,000 a year. That's $500 a month. How many do you need to get really to 10,000? You only need 20 a month. It doesn't have to be the same 20. It can be really like every month to just get 20. And it doesn't take that much. You just have to know where you find the people that they love to support you that much. So a lot of people, they're not willing to take the responsibility of just really like starting a nonprofit. They rather support you if you're doing what they wish they can do. So this is who you want. You want smaller donations too, but like once you target specific people, those are you identify them as an ideal donor. Those people, you keep speaking to them and you target them, you show up wherever they are, you tell them the stories you have, and then this is how you make them like loyal clients. And also like main thing you have to have is donor management system. Donor management system, if it's good, it's going to help you so much. And nice thing, like I have with the master mind, I have whoever attend the master class, they give no, I partnered with a company. Actually, they give access to my student like for 1 hour, for 1 year, 1 year, free access to donor management system. And I love their donor management system because you can like run campaigns, send emails, like you can really eliminate a lot of other programs with their program.
So this is I'm just so psyched right now, because I think Serena feels like I do right now, that you're like a godsend, really, the queen, because you are, because a lot of stuff that you're saying, some of the things that we need and we need to hear, and we need to get more educated on it. Because the first thing I was going to ask you, and I know Serena, like I said, Serena, I'm going to let you get you in a second, is, and maybe this is from other nonprofits that you've been working with to get funding, what is like the main like challenge per se? I mean, we talked about different challenges, but like what's kind of the main ones like that you would talk to a nonprofit and say, okay, this is what you need to really do or whatever for funding?
So people are afraid because it's nonprofit, they're afraid to spend money. They think they should get everything for free, and nothing for free because it can't be, it doesn't do anything, any service. And you have to invest in the organization, just like you have to invest in your business and the system on the setup. Like you have to really spend money in order to get money. People sometimes they just, okay, we are self-funded. Okay, even when you are starting your own business, you are self-funded. But you have to make sure you record that you do bookkeeping from day one, and a good bookkeeping. Because also I've seen a lot of people like in business actually and in nonprofit having like just a bookkeeper who does not know what they're doing. And when I look at their balance sheet, what are these numbers? What is this? They don't know. Or bookkeeper did that. A lot of people, they just don't know. Good thing that a lot of people are starting their own business, but the same thing, like not everyone qualified enough, or really like they do their due diligence just to make sure they're doing things right. Or we all make mistake, like just to fix it and make sure like they have the best service for their client. So we really have to be careful on that. So they think, okay, so and so take this much, and or maybe we're gonna do it ourselves. Most likely when they do it themselves, it's not easy. Those programs, QuickBooks and other programs, they're not easy. You can easily duplicate. And in business, if you duplicate that, you're paying more taxes. But in nonprofit, if you're duplicating, that's also more responsibility with the IRS. What did you do with this money that does not exist except for your in your accounting program? It doesn't seem this money really. And also you have a requirement of reporting each program alone. You cannot really mix. So if you tell your donor, I am raising this money for this program only, you cannot go and spend it with another program. Yes, you can spend a salary for a staff who is participating on the program somehow, just because they're working on the organization, but you cannot totally take it to another program. So that's why you have to keep a separate accounting, same books, but you have to have a very well set chart of accounts. And more often, a lot of people do it on the side, so they don't have time to do it. Even if they have an accountant helping them, they're not communicative. They don't tell you, like, okay, you keep asking them, okay, what is this, what is that, like, give me the report, give me okay, they're busy with other stuff. So I would say if you are just busy, you cannot take care of that, you're still responsible. So you would have to hire someone to take care of that. Even if you start your virtual assistant, administrative assistant, anything, like you tell them, okay, this is the main thing, so they can keep you accountable and have access to this stuff. And then like also give it to your accountant, give it to whatever people you're working with, so to make sure you really want to grow your organization and stay in compliance and don't get in trouble, any for yourself or any board members. Because also a lot of people I've seen also, they're losing their 501c3 because they think, we're nonprofit, we don't have to file taxes. Okay, you only don't have to file income tax for donations, but you do have to file payroll taxes if you have employees. You do have to file 990s, the informational tax. You're not paying taxes, but if you're selling something that's unrelated business income, this is, you have to file additional 990, which is 990T, and then you might have to pay taxes on that. So they don't know.
I'm getting nervous just listening to you. Our time we're doing it all. Maybe you have to review everything for us. But yeah, I guess how do people contact you? People like us contact you. How do we get the knowledge and the information we need? Also, maybe if you can say like what the costs are associated. I do have another question too. Right now, Help Heal Humanity, we are a volunteer-based only charity. So we are not paying salaries to anyone. And so I know that that's not a sustainable model for our charity. I definitely feel that every year. So is there, in order to be able to have paid staff, do you go to grants for that, or is that your own fundraising? But then again, in that fundraising initiative, you have to express what you're doing with those funds. We cannot say that we're raising funds to build a school and then all of a sudden throw in other people's salaries, right? So what do you recommend to nonprofits such as ourselves who are a volunteer based? How do we start to secure funding so that we can have at least a couple paid staff?
First, yeah, so I would Are you self-funding the organization? Like, how are you getting the donation right now?
All of our donations are coming through um, just word of mouth, meetings, very small events. But again, none of our funding has come through any type of government grant or foundation grant. Everything is pretty much through word of mouth and small events.
Individuals, yeah. People, yeah.
Can you do, what do you do? What's the programs you're doing? School, you said? Or
Yeah, education, student sponsorship, and meal programs.
so can these programs get done without you doing anything?
Can they get done? No.
Yeah, exactly. So in order to complete the program, you have to have staff, and you can have volunteer, but you have to have staff because it's unrealistic for people to just, I would love to volunteer and give my time for free, but I'm not going to be on street to just be right. So same for you, some for any other people like we want to hire. So it has to be, that's a program cost still. So as long as it's reasonable, like it gives the people dignity, living in dignity and given a good reasonable life, like with this industry standards. I wouldn't go with nonprofit industry because they almost don't pay anything right now. But I mean, like if I have, for example, like a teacher in this school and then a teacher I'm hiring to do this program, then yeah, it has to be the same. It doesn't mean like if it's nonprofit, I'm not going to pay them. Then we will lose the good people and they will not want to work.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so this is how we should think about it. You can of course like give that money to executive assistants, to anyone who's going to free
Asking
time.
you, where does that money come from? Does that come from personal fundraising, or is there actual grants out there that support salaries?
So my understanding, there's like some capacity building grants, but I'm not a grant person, so I don't know where do you get this grant from. But in the grants, like let's say you're getting a grant to build a school. So
Yeah.
in your budget, like when you apply for the grant, you have to put that in. So you have to put that in, like even your utility bills, even like just like what it takes to run the office that you are managing the school from and the school. So you have to put the salaries. You have to put like, for example, you say like you are gonna give 50% of your time for this grant. So you're gonna put 50% of your salary on this grant. So the budget from the beginning has to be allocated correctly and it shouldn't miss anything. And then sometimes like you can like actually contact the funder and say, okay, we really need this. If they have a guideline on you cannot spend more than, for example, percentage, you can negotiate with them and tell them we really need that in order to have the program like in the way and deliver it to you in the way you are looking for. Because also if you're getting a big grant, they don't give you the money and leave. They give you the first installment, then when you report it, they see everything is good, then they give you the next and whatever and go so on. So you have to have a good budget from the beginning, and you have to have like everything captured in that. So if you're doing more than one program, you can allocate the salary in different programs. You can do that the same thing from individual donations or from grants, but it's more strict from the grants. But let's say you are gonna like say, okay, the students, it costs us like $100 to teach this student, for example. But in this $100, you're gonna capture the salary of the person who's gonna be responsible, the teacher and the administrative person who's gonna pay the salary of the teacher, and do the things that, because the program is the one thing it cannot be done by itself. You have to participate. And even the volunteers, they have to be managed correctly. Like you cannot really like just leave every volunteer to do whatever they want. They have to have SOBs, you have to have names, you have a lot of requirements, even by the IRS. And with the state also. So you can't really do things for free and have it to the higher standard. So you have to capture everything in your budget.
I know Serena's like, yep, checklist, yep, I know. Well, Queen, you know, I want to thank you so much for really educating us, giving us the knowledge. And I'm going to reach out to you to get all those links to the master classes that you have so I can post that as well. And I'm going to put this back up so people can reach you. If
Thank
they're
you.
interested. Now, one thing what we usually do with our guests too is we give you like this 30 seconds. We're going to take myself and Serena down for a minute and just leave any lasting thoughts that you want to the audience. And then we'll come back up and close out with you.
Okay, so oh, on my by myself. Okay, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here and have opportunity to talk to you all. Please make sure you're doing everything right, because you're gonna be serving yourself, protecting yourself, and serving your donor best, because you're gonna actually not your donor and your beneficiary, and you can have a bigger impact than you think you could have. If you do everything professionally right and you stay in compliance, you will have a lot of growth opportunity that you will never have if you were to do just like things like unplanned, without budget, without professional work. So please make sure you do everything by the book so you can grow and you can reach the goodness that people are waiting for you.
Amazing, amazing. Now, you know what I would love to do? To bring you on a few times back, and maybe you can take one section of what you do with the mastermind and just talk about it for like, 10 or 15 minutes to the audience. I think that would really help a lot of nonprofits, not just Help Humanity, but other nonprofits that we talk to and we bring on the show.
Of
So
course, I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
You could be our recurring expert.
My pleasure. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I would love to do that.
You're an expert. So thank you so much again. Serena, any last words for our wonderful expert here? Not that you want to say?
Nope. Absolutely. I mean, just look at your emails, because I'm going to be messaging you and I want to be one-on-one with you. And I'd love to learn more from you, because I really do believe, like you said, being in compliance, having everything structured correctly, properly, it allows your organization to grow. And without these essential tools, there's no way to be successful. So thank you for doing what you're doing for all charities all over the USA, and providing us with the knowledge that we need to be successful. And I really look forward to talking more with you off the podcast.
Same here. Thank you so much, ladies. I really enjoyed my time with you, and I'm looking forward to be talking to you more and talking to your audience, and to talk to you one-on-one also.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So we'll be right back, and me and Serena will come with some last thoughts for today.
My name is Serena Bufalino. I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. My career started off as a special education teacher. When my students found out that there were kids in this world that did not have the right to go to school, inspired them. The concept behind the Haiti School Building Project was a small handful of youth in Toronto would help a small handful of youth here in Haiti. The Haiti School Building Project finally opened up last year, September 2018. It has successfully been running for 7 months now, and what I have seen is nothing shy of beautiful. One person with the support of others can literally transform the planet.
Oh, my dog is going wild. Hi, I'm not sure why I'm the only one here, but I need somebody to come in. Okay, I don't know.
We're doing our last thoughts of the show, and then I heard roof, roof, roof.
He heard something in the video that made him go off. So yeah, he's going
Oh,
downstairs.
the children saying yes, you can.
Yes.
Probably.
But
that's sweet. That's sweet. So first of all, before we do our lasting thoughts, Mrs. Queen Serena Bufalino, to see, wasn't she just an angel in the wind here?
yeah,
What's your? I mean, I want to hear. I mean, I know you were I could just see in your face. You're like, wow, excited and everything. So
I think, the timing is perfect. It's, we have an incredible.
uh-oh. No, not technology. No, don't do this to us. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring her down. It's funny. We started off with that, and now we're ending, huh? But no, I know what Serena was, because me and her co-host, and we're always, when it comes to nonprofit, when it comes to understanding and how to, because it takes funding, it takes money, and you have to be compliant. I mean, it's like a business. You have to make sure everything is set straight. And I loved how the Queen came on, and she was telling us, with her masterclass she has, and she's educating. And that's the part that I love to hear, when she's educating nonprofits, because right now, and I've talked to a lot, and I talked to some that are on it. Then I talked to some that are kind of like, oh, I got my, what is it, 503K or whatever it's called, C. And then after that, they don't know what to do. Or they're just like, I did it because I have passion. I love it in my heart. I want to help whoever. I want to be a world changer. But I got to get this. I got to be compliant with this. What else do I got to do? And then they got to start reading up. And then all of a sudden, oh, I missed that. So that's why you need to know the certain people in that lane that understands, the system, that understands the taxes, that understands how grants are done, that understands how to get certain benefits, understands, like Nora said, about, include the people that are working towards the Nora organization. Because when you think about it, it makes sense. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's just not like, ta-da, it's all going to happen. People are working towards you. Got coordinators, you got teachers, you got, just security people. I mean, there's just management, everything. So that has to be included in your expenses. It's part of your nonprofit business. So I'm just glad that she had, shared those thoughts, and so much information. Oh my God. And then for that, and to say, okay, let me step back and do an audit of my own nonprofit. I mean, like Serena right now, she's already saying, okay, I gotta get her email. We need to talk. We got to see what we're doing, see some things we can add. And it's okay to tweak. It's okay to say, okay, let me step back and do an audit of this, because what you're trying to do for your nonprofits is what? You're trying to get more money. So what? You can help who you're trying to help, the children, and, in any kind of way, or people that are in need, or, homeless, or whatever organization that you have. So always remember that first biggest thing is, who are you trying to help? Then at that point, then that's when you want to go out and get the help for yourself, so you can make sure you helping them the way you want to help them. And I think I got my code. Yeah, there she is. She's back. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, I mean, I think that was an incredible guest. So much information, maybe a lot of information. So maybe we can have her come back and break some things down for us. And then just final thoughts. Of course, I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to talk about Help Heal Humanity.
yes.
So for those of you who are listening or watching on the repeat, this Saturday, so not tomorrow, but the next day, bright and early in the morning, we have a bike ride for humanity happening in Canada. If anybody is on Facebook or Instagram, go to Help Heal Humanity. You can also go to Serena Bufalino, and there are various ways that you can donate to our bike ride, where 100% of our profits will be going to support student sponsorship in Haiti. Haiti is in a massive state of emergency right now. Nobody knows about this. It hasn't really made the media, and there's tons of protests to try to get attention on what is really happening in Haiti. So we are continuing to raise our voice and our hearts and our spirit for our country and for millions of people who need our help. And then the other thing is, so this Saturday is the bike ride, and then the Friday after that, we have an emergency shipping container going to Haiti with school supplies, a lot of, clothing, a lot of food, like I was going to say, like condensed milk and condensed wheat, a lot of perishable items, because right now it's, like over 600 people a day are dying just from malnutrition, because people cannot get out on the streets to buy food. So it's a big week for Help Heal Humanity. We have a bike ride, we have a shipping container. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Go check us out on Instagram. Donate to any of our amazing causes. And, you know, together we will help heal humanity. So thank you, Barbara. You're always incredible. You have a heart of gold, a spirit like no other. You really, I love you tremendously. And just thank you for all that you do for Help Heal Humanity and for all the charities across the USA. This is an incredible platform, and you are an incredible queen.
Oh, so you're gonna make me cry. Well, you know what? It takes it takes a queen to know a queen, right? So you are the queen.
I'm only the princess. I'm only the princess right now. You eventually I'll get to the queen status like you.
No, we're not gonna know. We're not gonna leave this show ending with that.
Okay.
You are the queen. Put that crown. Fix it. There you go. There you go. That's all I want to make sure you fix that crown. So I just want to again, because nothing's being selfish about it, because hey, this show started off with Help Heal Humanity. So yeah, we are going to talk about Help Heal Humanity, but I want to give so much kudos to Serena and the team, and really Serena, because she's doing this going back to the bike thing that she's talking about. She's basically be on her bike. She's been going in the gym. She's been bike riding outside. Anytime she has a chance to get on that bike, she's been doing it, because she's trying to get herself that, that endurance, because it's going to take a long time to get to where she's going. It's 10 hours, right?
Yes, it is.
10 hours
of bike riding for humanity.
For children that need food, that need education, that can't get it themselves. She's doing 10 hours, her and other team of people. So please, first of all, put the good vibes out there to her and the team. Put the, positive, give her the virtual hugs, send the hearts out. But the other thing I want to ask for is donate, because that's what she's doing it for, because we need that money to come to help the children. And she's putting all her strength, just ride that bike. I see her all the time.
We are clients, so you do get a tax receipt.
Oh yeah, you do get the tax receipt, but the biggest thing you get is in your heart. You can say, I helped a child that didn't know where their food was coming from in the next hour. Like you said, 600. I was like, oh God. And I heard that a minute, 600.
600 a day are dying just from malnutrition, because the riots and the protests have caused the banks to shut down, the markets to shut down, all businesses to shut down. So even if you had the money to go and buy the food, nothing is open to go and get the food. So it's an absolute crisis. It's catastrophic. Your Prime Minister Joe Biden, your President Joe Biden, our Prime Minister in Canada, Trudeau, and a lot of other political leaders right now are sitting in the UN making decisions for Haiti as a whole, and trying to get all leaders around the world to step in and help. So it's needed more than ever. Yes. And this year has been a really difficult year on everyone. So we understand that funds are limited, but literally $5 adds up. It adds up. So any little bit of spare change you can do, go check us out, give us a donation. We'll give you a shout out. And we'll see you all next week.
Yes, we'll see you all next week. And if you know of any, because one thing we do spotlight other nonprofits on our first half of our show. If you know of any nonprofits or foundations that want to be spotlighted, want to be, people know what they're doing, being a world changer, just like Mrs. Queen Serena's doing here, please just come to me, Barbara Beckley. You can get me on Facebook, messenger me, and we will get you on the calendar, on the schedule. With that said, Serena, I love you. I love you. I love you. And we'll see you all next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Today, over 1 billion children in the world live in poverty. At Help Heal Humanity, our goal is to connect children in need with people like you who want to make a difference. Our student sponsorship program helps provide children with the necessities for a healthy and successful start to life. When you sponsor a student, you're not only giving them the gift of education, you're giving them the best chance for a brighter future. 100% of your donation supports the tuition fees, uniforms, textbook, and school supplies needed to thrive in a safe and healthy learning environment. Sponsor a student now and be the catalyst for their brighter future.